Putting. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about the putter. Just some few standard things, nothing too deep, nothing too special. Starting a little bit with the grip, okay? I like to hold the putter straight here through the middle of the hand. So the putter is lined up with the forearm. The right hand, well, however, wherever you want to position it, on the knees like this or here, or I don't know, some people now also putting like that. At the end, it's just the right hand making force or pressure or power against the putter. I like, if possible, to have a flat wrist. A little bit the same way I try to hit in the golf ball. So when I putt, I like to have a flat wrist. I'm not a big fan of having the left wrist so bent. But however, it's just my personal choice, and it works pretty good and helps a lot of little kids, because like this, they do not flip their hands so much. Well, we also have the option to putt cross-handed. Here, if you want to have a flat wrist, okay, I could accept a little bit of left wrist extension, but we will keep definitely here our right hand flying wedge. So to have a look here behind, we have my student. He's putting. He putts cross-handed with his right hand flying wedge, almost a flat wrist. Good. How does another one? Nice, good. In the address position, I also don't want to get too deep in that, but definitely one thing should happen is that our eyes are over the ball. When I mean over the ball, borrow me one. When I mean over the ball, it doesn't have to look exactly at the ball, but yes, it should be on the same line of the ball. We would not like to have the eyes in front of the ball, and we also would not like to have the eyes inside of the ball. So anything over the ball is pretty acceptable. You can get one of those mirrors, those putting mirrors. They will show you immediately where your eyes are looking, and it will help your stroke. It will help your club head path when your eyes are more situated, more located over the ball. Come on, show us how your eyes are positioned. Good. Let me see. They are pretty inside of the ball. So bend me a little bit more forward. Great, good. Now have a try. Good. Do me that again. That is better. Good. Now how you feel more comfortable. Now do me the same. Put me the eyes over the ball, but this time I do not want that you bend so much over the ball. I would like that you get a bit closer to the ball. What suits you more? What? What suits you more? What feels more comfortable? Getting more closer or bending more forward?
Getting more closer.
Getting more closer? Okay, good. Nice.
The flashback?
Bring the balls back. Good. So here the same. The options, if you feel more comfortable bending more forward, or if you feel more comfortable standing a bit closer to the ball. But as long as those eyes are in the line of the ball, that is from my point of view pretty important. Now putting, I always practice three things. One is aiming. The second one is distance control, and the third part is rhythm. It comes a little bit on order of importance for me. Aiming is important, but the distance control is definitely more important, and the rhythm is the most important part in putting, and probably everything which we consider short game. The rhythm is quite important. For aiming, we use we can use bueno, you know, I'm here in China, so we have many of those chopsticks, but it can be any little stick. It can be one of those barbecue sticks, or maybe you have a small putting alignment stick. Whatever, as long as it is straight, is all right. So we're gonna position that here at the hole. Good. So now this I line that chopstick here up straight to the hole. I'm not so far away. It's only 5 foot, and the idea is now when I address my putter behind the chopstick and I stay here and I look, I would like to see the perception I have. Because sometimes, I mean, I know that the chopstick lines up in the middle of the hole, but sometimes our perception is different. We do not see that chopstick aiming in the middle of the hole. So, Tao Tao, come over here. Line me up here behind the chopstick. Put the putter behind the chopstick. Good. Now have a look at the chopstick. Do you see it in the middle of the hole?
Yeah.
You see it in the middle of a hole? Good. Whenever you address the ball and you see that chopstick aims in the middle of the hole, there is nothing you have to change. You do not have to change the way you address the ball, okay? Maybe a few more putts, come on. But when you do not see that chopstick aiming in the middle, many times on the left, not always, but in my experience, mostly people see the chopstick actually aiming left, okay? You can adjust that by bending a little bit more over the ball. That will change your perception. You suddenly will start seeing the chopstick aiming in the middle of the hole. Good putt there. If it doesn't work by moving more down, or it doesn't work by raising a little bit more up, we also can change our ball position. We can place our ball more to the right. We can start placing our ball more to the left. As long, or we have to adjust so much until we see the chopstick in the middle of the hole. Because if your aiming is not right, or if the perception of aiming you have is not right, then you will also not make a proper putting stroke. Because if you see that chopstick from here, for example, aiming left, you will start pushing your balls to the right when you're lined up properly, or you think you're lined up properly, and you will end up aiming more to the right, and you will start pulling those balls. Now, for those players who line up their balls, they don't need that because they line up the ball. So they rely on the line of where they lined up the balls. However, if you choose, or if you are one of those players who line up the ball, you also should practice that. You should practice up that lining up of the ball, because some players they do not line up the ball properly. They think they are lining up in a certain direction, but actually they are lining up in another one. So you also have to be 100% sure that when you use that method, that you are doing that right. So I hope those few little things, introduction about putting, We will make more videos. We'll get deeper in potting. They helped you a little bit today, and don't forget to subscribe. Give us a like. See you soon. Goodbye.